Hello, YouTube. We are back for the attack on Jeremy's Detective Comics number 33. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. And if it's the first time that you're watching my channel, check out all the other fun uploads I have and hit that sub button. It means a lot. Oh, and by the way, I was nominated for the best tours of comic shows and things of that nature, and that is for the 2025 Comic Book Community Awards. So thank you for nominating Jerry the Jitterbug. I'm in the contention again for another category. So Jerry the Jitterbug Nation, if you wouldn't mind, go over there and give me a vote. Let's see if we can bring that award home as well. So what we have here is the last wrap that I have to leaf cast in the whole book. I may have to do a few more, and I know Jeremy asked me in the comments, how many more do you think you're going to do? I don't know, Jeremy, answering your question, because I try to do things as perfect as I can, and I'm going to have to go through each of the wraps and see how the job is. And if I'm unhappy with one wrap, I may do it again. But time will tell. But my goal, and I know I set many goals, I want this book finished. And I'm going to do a realistic goal. I want it done, packaged, and sent back to the owner by October. Halloween, maybe. But that's my goal. I really need to get this done because I see that my views on this series, I know it's been a long time, they get lower and lower and lower. We need to amp it up and do another category or another book to get the interest back to the channel. But that's not going to prevent me from taking my time in doing this as best as I can. So again, last wrap right here, we have Bug Chew, and we all know that we have to enlarge the bottom of the wrap. Now let's take a closer look at this wrap. It is pretty cool Batman right here with a parachute. And let's take a look at the back. There's not much Bug Chew, but we need to fix it. We need to fix it because we need to enlarge the bottom, like I said, and Jerry the Jitterbug once again is gibbering and repeating himself as always. I just recently came back from a long trip to Europe, and here is an upload right here. Here's the thumbnail where I went comic hunting in Italy. I didn't get much, but it was fun. It was a beautiful trip. Check out the upload. So, what are we going to do now, Jerry the Jitterbug? What is the plan? And I'm trying to be entertaining to you guys because there's so much content out there. Many years ago, Jerry the Jitterbug was pretty much one of the only people who did leaf casting. Now everyone in the conservation community, or almost everyone who has a channel, is jumping into the leaf casting craze. Even Collecting Chaos right here. And I love Collecting Chaos's channel. He's a great guy, and go check out his leaf casting adventures. Good for you. But I watched the last leaf casting upload that you did, and blend the pulp a little bit more. You have to thin it out, in my opinion, if I can give you some advice. And what do I know? I know I've been doing this for a long time. So what we're going to do with this wrap, of course, is we are going to deacidify. We deacidify each of the wraps. And right here we have calcium carbonate in water with the solution being really mixed, just like this. I'll do it again, and we're gonna let it settle down before we deacidify, because we want the calcium carbonate powder to fall down, and we're gonna cover this up, and usually it settles in a good couple of hours. So that's one thing that we have to do. We have to deacidify the wrap. The next thing that we have to do, and this may be a, oh God, I effed up moment. I don't know if I did this on the thumbnail. For some reason, the algorithms on YouTube, they like it when you F up. Whenever you put that I effed up, and I do the girl or the woman with her hands on her head, oh, I messed up, more views are triggered. I guess people like watching when people screw up. That's just the only thing that I can say about that. So what is the issue? The issue here is that here is my pulp right here. And I'm going to tell you that this is the best pulp that I ever made to match the wrap that we are working on, okay? The best out of all the leaf casting jobs that I did. Let's put this back, the wrap that we're gonna work on, and let's take a look at the example I have right here. Here's another example. It really matches very well. So what I wanna do is, I wanna make a little more of the pulp. And we're not gonna go local with making the pulp and doing all that color match stuff that we did before. No way, Jose. But we are going to try to increase the amount of the pulp that is in this blender. Now, number one, the way we can do it is, we have these discs that I used, right? These are the discs that I did for the color match. Hey, let's put them in. That's a lot of pulp right there. Let's just put it into the water. See how easy that is? Nothing crazy. And we have to make more pulp. So I have my little beaker or mixing jar right here, measuring jar. And like I said, I'm not gonna get crazy making the exact color, but I need more pulp. So right here, we have newsprint. And this is something that I am showing to the community who does leaf casting. And I think that Jason or Adrift, that's another good channel, great channel. He said, oh my God, this stuff is like gold, this pulp. And he ran out of it, and he was a little upset that he ran out of the color that he made. And if you run out of the color, once you run out, you're up the creek. But if you have a nice amount, like right here, hopefully the camera's picking it up, and I'll even open it up. It's like half of the blender. You can increase that without affecting the color that you work so hard to make. And the way you do that is just adding simple newsprint. Newsprint is the best, and I'm gonna say this again. Best paper that you can use for leaf casting. I don't care what anyone says. If they want to use their fancy paper, this, that, no. Newsprint is the best result that you can get. It's just my opinion. But right now, the color is not the color that we want. We want to put a little bleach in, and I showed this before. You see how I just poured the little bleach, and hopefully the camera is picking it up, because the bleach manipulated the color to make it like a brown newsprint. Very simple, very clear, very the way you have to do it, it doesn't even make sense. I'm still a little delirious because I have issues with the time being in Italy for 12 days and 6 hours difference. But right now, hopefully the camera is picking it up. Do you see how the gray is turning into tan? And that is what we want. If you're gonna add more pulp to your mixture, you wanna make it where it's not light, and you try to make it as close as possible. Close as possible to what the color that you achieve that is a great color. So right there, that's enough. I don't need the bleach anymore. I don't need to soak it. So what are we gonna do? What we're gonna do is I'm gonna go up to my sink and I'm gonna drain the water and the bleach. And I'm gonna rinse it, rinse it, rinse it. And I'll be right back, because we wanna get that bleach out of there. We don't want the bleach, at least the liquid bleach, still in the water. We want fresh water, rinse it out, but the color will remain the same. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, we're back, and I rinsed out the pulp. Whoa, what's going on, Jerry the Jitterbug? Where is the pulp? Right here in my hand. And look at that. I'll do the smell test. No smell of bleach whatsoever, rinsed out. And look at that tan. Really, look at it. Look at the color. That is tan that matches the old newsprint to a degree, right guys? It sure does. That is why we bleach it. That's why also we rinse it out. So we're gonna soak that in there. And also I got a beer. Look at that, Michelob Ultra, which is not my favorite, but I drink a lot of beer and I get it in my belly if I drink 6 beers or so and I'm trying to live a life with a little more healthy undertones, so a low carb beer. So right here is the key that achieved my goal in making such a wonderful pulp. That is the construction paper that I used to make the red orange tint. And the pulp is on the bottom and the water is clear, guys. So any concern by anyone watching this that, oh my God, he's using a construction paper, it may bleed into the water, blah, blah, blah. Look at that. I can drink this water probably. Not, but it doesn't, okay? So what I wanna do is I just wanna take a little of the red pulp, not a lot. See, like that, we just wanna be in proportion with what we are using with the new newsprint. Does that make sense, guys? I hope it does, because I'm trying to make sense here in the world of Jerry the Jitterbug. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix this up. We're gonna let this sit overnight, okay? And to be honest, I think I wanna put a little bit more red in there, a little bit more red tint. And I know that there's formulas, and I used to do it. I'm someone that used to measure and say how much of this I put in, how much of that paper I put in. But now a lot of this is just, in my opinion, by feel, by experience. That's how I do that. So that alone will give the red tint. So what are we gonna do? Are we gonna mix that separately? No, I'm gonna take this and then we're gonna open this up, and this is the pulp, and I'm just gonna pour it in. So now what we have right here is a brand new full container or blender of pulp. And this will give me enough pulp in order to complete the job the way I want to complete it, with the one wrap, and also perhaps the other wraps if I decide to do it again and better the wrap. So we want to mix this up a little bit. Man, this is a real boring upload, guys. I'm sorry. But you know what? This is what we do in Jerry the Jitterbug's channel. So let's give it a little smoothie, shake, stir. We'll do a smoothie. And we're just gonna blend it up a little bit and we're gonna let it sit overnight. See how that squirted out of there? Some water came out, some pulp came out, but that's fine. I have the comic over to the back of me, nowhere near this. So here's another tip, guys. Whenever you're doing work on books with water and things of that nature, and you're not working on the book itself, but you're just preparing things like pulp, like I just did, move the sheet over, move the wrap over. You don't need it to have it in the vicinity of the work area, because what will happen, you can get water on it, you can get pulp on it, and that's not a good thing. Okay, so that's enough. I stirred it up a little bit. Now we're gonna take it out and I'm gonna put this to the side, okay? Just like that. And we're gonna let that sit overnight, and we'll let the newsprint and the red portions of the construction paper really get in there and blend in and just get nice and wet. And then hopefully we'll blend it up again and we'll have the right type of pulp. And of course, Jerry the Jitterbug is a madman. I will test it out. I'm not just gonna have it where we are going to use the pulp without doing a test disc, because I can adjust it accordingly. So now what we wanna do is I'm gonna grab my tub and we're going to do, let's take a look at the calcium carbonate. And yeah, it looks pretty good. It's not 100% clear, but it's clear enough. So stay tuned. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have my tub. So what I want to do, and I do this all the time, is we're going to put the wrap inside the tub. We're gonna sandwich it between two pieces of Ramay. And I wish I could do something different, guys, but this is what we do, man. And I'm gonna say that, guess what? This is going to be the next project, I think. And I can't wait to work on this using Bob Hope. Bob Hope's gonna say bye-bye. And we're gonna do this nice Justice League of America, Brave and the Bold 28, the first appearance. Looking forward to doing this one. I'm gonna work on one of my books for a change and we're gonna have fun. But I have another few books also. Jonathan's book. I know Jonathan, if you even watch my channel anymore, it's still on the shelf. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour this in. Just like this, very simple, easy peasy. I'm not gonna take, after we let it sit for a while, I'm not gonna take a picture of the water and how it's brown and all that stuff. We all know that. Reverend Jerry the Jitterbug used to do that all the time. We're not gonna do that. We're past that. But we're gonna let this penetrate. It's gonna take a while to penetrate. We're gonna let this sit in here nicely, not meanly. I haven't said that in a while. My grandmother used to say we're gonna do it nicely. Yes, we're gonna let this soak nicely. And how long are we gonna let this soak for? We're gonna let it soak for, should we put some Ultra in here? Not. We're gonna let this soak for 10, 15 minutes. I always do the same amount. I don't put a timer on. I do it and I can tell by looking at the water. in relation to the residue that comes out, the acid that comes out. After this is fully saturated, we're going to put it between the plexiglass pieces and we are going to press it. And then after we press it, tomorrow morning I'm planning to zoop, 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 leaf cast this. That's my goal. We're going to leaf cast this in the morning because I like to keep it pressed wet overnight, or at least a couple of hours minimum, to make sure when you take it out, it is as flat as anything. So I think this is a good time maybe to stop this upload. Maybe not. Let me shut the camera off and maybe I'll set it up in the actual shelving units and then we'll end it, and then we'll come back fighting with the next upload dealing with the leaf casting. So hang loose. Okay guys, we're back. So the wrap has been soaking for about 10-15 minutes. I don't time it. I know I've said that in the past, but on an average 10 to 15 minutes. I like to see that all of the wrap is saturated, and I can tell just by looking on the perimeter that the water is a little tanned based on the deacidification of the calcium carbonate, the natures that, or what it does to the wrap. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. I'm babbling. Nature, this, that. Come on, Jerry. Let's get your act together. So what I did right now is I have my plastic sheets on top of the shelving unit. I'm going to take this up just like this. We're going to let it drip down. Hopefully the camera's picking this up. And then I'm going to go like this. Ba-boom. And you have to use the sound effect, guys. I know I always say the sound effects are key. So what I'm going to do is just take the paper towel and I'm going to run it from the spine outwards. Spine outwards, just like this, because we want to make it nice and smooth. I think that's pretty good. Let me just position it a little bit better on the plastic. Okay, just like that. And that looks pretty good. We'll use the paper towels like this just to clean up some of the water, and then we'll use my plastic spackle knife, and I like to go from the center. And again, that's another thing. Collecting Chaos, I saw that you were using some like giant squeegee to flatten out the remet. I look like a shower squeegee. And if you don't mind, get rid of that thing. Get one of these at the dollar store. That was too big and cumbersome, in my opinion. I'm just trying to help you, Collecting Chaos, because I know you're new at the leaf casting game. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rinse it off like this again with a paper towel, a used paper towel. See how easy that is? And then we are going to take this wrap and we are going to press it overnight. It's very important to press it overnight if you are going to do the leaf casting, because then you get a completely flat wrap when you put it on your leaf casting table or you put it on a mat, how other people do it. It's fine, it works. I have a whole series of leaf casting without using a leaf casting table. So I did that many years ago. So it works, okay? So right there we have our wrap. We are going to close it up with the shelving unit, and I'm going to put it in Big Bertha. And again, I only put one side paper towels. That's fine. That's enough. We don't have to go crazy. And then what we can do here is let's tilt this over and see if the camera's picking it up. Eh? check that out. That's all you need for the 15 minutes. 10, 15 minutes. I don't need to do it once. I don't need to do it twice, 3 times, half water, calcium, hydroxide, blah, 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 blah. No. Once is enough. Sometimes twice, but once is enough. And there's a lot of tanning that came out of that wrap. You see that? A lot of tanning. That's good enough. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the upload. I know it probably is going to be a long one if I had to guess based on my estimate. But you know what? We did the job. We're going to do it. We're going to finish it. And then next upload, we're going to have a beautiful leaf casting job as best as I can. Okay, so thank you. Appreciate your support. Hit that sub button and stay tuned.